Have you ever loved someone so much that you started losing parts of yourself just to keep them? Not all at once, slowly, quietly, in the way you stopped speaking up just to keep the peace, in the way you started accepting less because they offered nothing more, in the way you tried harder while they noticed less. It starts with a look, a tone, a missed call, an apology that never comes, and you brush it off because love means understanding, right? Love means being patient. Love means staying even when it hurts. Until one day you wake up and realize you're the only one still fighting. That was him. A good man, quiet, solid, the kind of man who doesn't need to be the loudest in the room because his presence speaks for itself. The kind of man who would have done anything for her until he couldn't recognize himself anymore. And the cruelest part, she never thought he'd leave because he stayed through so much already. Through the mood swings, the mixed signals, the moments where she acted like he didn't matter. She thought his patience was infinite, that his love meant permanence. But love, even the strongest kind, dies when it's starved. He didn't leave in anger. He didn't storm out. There was no dramatic goodbye, no final argument, no tearful confrontation. Just a slow withdrawal, a silence that started in his eyes and crept into his voice. A weight that used to feel like love, now felt like defeat. She didn't notice it at first, not really. She just thought he was tired, or stressed, or being distant, but he was detaching, piece by piece, breath by breath. Every time she ignored how he felt, every time she chose ego over empathy, every time she made him feel like he was easy to replace, he started listening less. Not because he didn't care, but because every word she said began to feel like another reminder that he wasn't being heard. She accused him of pulling away, but how do you stay close to someone who keeps pushing you out? There's a kind of exhaustion that love can't fix, the kind that comes when one person keeps pouring and the other keeps spilling, and he was tired of cleaning up the mess. She thought love meant he'd never leave, that he'd always forgive, that he'd wait forever. But even good men have limits. Even quiet hearts have breaking points. One day, he just stopped. Stopped texting first. Stopped asking what was wrong. Stopped trying to prove he was worth staying for. And when she finally noticed, when the silence stretched too long, when his absence echoed louder than his presence ever did, it hit her. She didn't just lose a boyfriend, she lost a man who would have given her everything if she had just treated him like he mattered. It wasn't that he didn't care anymore, it's that he learned to care about himself more. He realized something she never thought he would, that love shouldn't feel like begging, that respect shouldn't have to be earned daily, that being a man doesn't mean carrying someone else's immaturity like a burden. He used to think loving her was strength, but real strength is knowing when to walk away. And when he left, he didn't leave to make a point. He left because he finally made peace with the truth. He wasn't loved the way he deserved to be. She tried reaching out. Of course she did. But by then, her words felt like smoke after the fire. Too late, too hollow. He didn't block her. He didn't argue. He just stopped responding. Because closure isn't something you always owe. Sometimes silence says enough. She scrolled through old pictures, read old texts, remembered the way he used to look at her like she was the only woman in the world. But memory isn't love. Nostalgia isn't change. And the man she remembered, he had already outgrown the version of himself that tolerated being overlooked. Because here's the truth no one tells you. When a man stays quiet, it's not because he's okay. It's because he's giving you space to notice, to change, to meet him halfway. But when that space becomes a pattern, when his silence is met with arrogance, with entitlement, with emotional laziness, eventually he stops waiting. You don't lose a good man when he walks away. You lose him long before that, when he starts to question if staying is making him smaller. And once that question settles in, it's only a matter of time. He wasn't perfect. He had flaws, but he showed up, he gave, he tried. And she She mistook his effort for weakness. She mistook his forgiveness for permission. She didn't realize the quiet ones don't explode, they evaporate. One day you wake up and they're just gone, not from the world, from you. And that's what hit her the hardest. Not that he left, but that he left without needing to be chased. Because he wasn't playing games, he wasn't testing her, he wasn't trying to be dramatic, he was done. There's no heartbreak like the one you cause yourself by taking for granted someone who only ever wanted to love you right. And when that man walks away, you don't just miss his presence, you miss the version of yourself that felt seen through his eyes, the safety, the acceptance, the rare feeling of being chosen by someone who meant it. She told herself it wasn't her fault, but deep down, she knew. She knew he asked for less than he gave. She knew he held her down when no one else did. She knew he believed in her at her worst, and she also knew she never made him feel like that mattered. It's easy to think they'll always come back, that their loyalty is guaranteed, that love is enough to survive anything. But love without respect, without effort, without consistency, that's not love, that's emotional convenience. And good men, the real ones, they eventually get tired of being convenient. So if you've got someone who shows up every time, who forgives without making you beg, who listens even when he's hurting, don't wait until he stops, because once a good man goes quiet, the conversation is already over. She thought he'd never leave, until he did, and by the time she realized what she lost, he had already become the man who wouldn't look back. He found peace in his absence, power in his silence, and for the first time in a long time, he felt free. Because the truth is, he didn't walk away to hurt her. He walked away to heal himself. And that's the kind of goodbye you never forget. And that's how it ends. Not with shouting, not with doors slamming, not with one final dramatic fight. It ends in silence. A silence so deep, it makes you hear everything you ignored. Because when a man like that walks away, it's never sudden. It's the result of 100 moments you thought didn't matter. 1,000 times he swallowed his pride. 1,000,000 seconds where he wondered if staying meant slowly disappearing. And when he finally chooses to go, he doesn't look back. Not because he doesn't care, but because he finally remembered how much he should care about himself. He gave chances. He stayed through storms. He listened when it hurt. But no man can keep showing up in a place that keeps making him question his worth. So he left, not to teach her a lesson, not to get attention. He left because his peace cost too much to keep paying for someone else's comfort. And if she ever truly loved him, that's what will haunt her. Not that he walked away, but that she made it easy to go. Because the truth is, you don't lose a good man when he leaves. You lose him when he no longer believes he's coming home.